Well, I know it's not new tooling, but it is a new livery. So it's time to take a look at Hornby's beautiful Class 08 shunter for 00 gauge, this time sporting Loram Rail UK Limited livery. So we've got here 08632, and I don't know what it is about the Class 08s, but they always seem to, despite their veteran design and spoked wheels, sort of harking back to the late days of steam era, they always seem to carry a new livery quite well. Now this would have been used around Loram's facilities for shunting, but if we take a look around the model, it's just astounding actually how detailed this locomotive really is. I've forgotten how good the Class 08 from Hornby was. We recently reviewed the ones for TT120 from the manufacturer, which themselves were fantastic, beautifully detailed models. But coming back to the 00 gauge model with fresh eyes is never a bad thing, and I know these have sold in their spades, and of course the 08s, having such long lives, have yielded many different liveries for the manufacturer. It's one of those models that can just keep on giving. But just turning the model around, I mean, this isn't all the detail fitted. You've actually got the accessory bag here, which includes all the air pipes and vacuum pipes to fit to the ends of the model. So to the underside, okay, there's a little bit to see there with the sort of air tanks, and you've got some pipes running along the back there. But to the sides, coupling rods, very nicely detailed. The spring definition to the underside there is slightly lacking a little bit in relief, I think. But that's a very, very minor thing, and there are going to be compromises with this model being 00 gauge. Those frames, no doubt, have had to sort of be altered a little bit versus the reality and the dimensions that the real thing would have. But no, just looking around the model, I don't know how much we can see into the cab there, but you've actually got these opening cab doors. I don't know if people have prodded around with their models and seen that yet, but you can pose these great way to create little dioramas, perhaps with the driver just sticking his head out as he reverses, and the shunter perhaps on the little step at the front there. Although that's probably not allowed today. Back in the day though, it's quite commonplace. You sort of got the dual regulators there in the cab, you can see one either side. You see the little wipers on the rear windows, wonderfully detailed. That is very fine detail there. All of the rivets show quite well under this light actually, and you can see that the wasp stripes are pin sharp, as is the orange cant rail, sort of warning people not to go above that level if operating under overhead catenary. This is an earlier build, you can see, because of the square nature of the cab doors. Even things like the cooling group here, you've got these little tiny lifting eyes at the top there, which are just great to see, and you've got the radiator drain hose as well, just things like that which taper down to a point. It's actually separately fitted, that it's not something that is injection molded into the detail. So the number of parts and the amount of time it must have taken to assemble this model on a production line, it's not insignificant. But if you want the best detail and you want something that's as realistic looking as possible, you're not going to better this model that I've got in my hands. Really is a fantastic machine, and I think that Loram rail suits it very, very well. Striking livery which would really stand out on your model. So there you go, Hornby's Class 08 in Loram rail livery. I can highly recommend it, and if you'd like to get your hands on one of these, take a look at the Hornby website or consult your local Hornby stockist.
Enthusiasm for railways large and small? What a wonderful hobby this is. Why not do something about it? But where to start? How do you get to the heart of the hobby, get closer to the action at exhibitions, discover better ways of making things, new products, and go behind the scenes at some of the UK's biggest railway attractions? Simple, a membership that delivers all this and more. Get every new issue of BRM, Traction, Engineering in Miniature, Narrow Gauge World and Garden Rail magazines before they arrive in shops. That's 5 magazines, and that's just the start. Access more than 800 back issues with the ability to search for articles. A growing archive of track plans for project inspiration. Exclusive behind-the-scenes videos. Win big with our monthly competitions. And gold membership to the online forum RM Web. Plus you get a free show ticket to one of our great weekends out. The Festival of British Railway Modelling, the London Festival of Railway Modelling, and Bristol Model Railway Exhibition. We think our digital subscription is the best, but don't take our word for it. Activate your no-obligation free trial today and try for yourself. Simply give it a go and decide after you've sampled all the benefits. The ultimate digital subscription for the railway enthusiast, getting you to the heart of the hobby.